eyes are on the tropics as we continue to watch the path of Florence. It actually strengthened overnight. We want to go to Ken Graham. He's the director of the National Hurricane Center, standing by right now with more on this storm. And Ken, thanks for joining us. Talk a little bit about where you believe this storm is headed and why it could be such a devastating storm.
Well, Don, this is forecast to become a major hurricane with time and stay a major hurricane, the entire lifetime to the coast. And, we expect, Category 4, 150-mile-an-hour winds. We expect, Category 3 or 4 even at landfall. So we're talking a major hurricane at landfall. And you can see, some potential error on the location, but no matter what we're talking about with the error with time, is still going to bring some incredible impacts in terms of storm surge, in terms of inland rainfall, the wind, and also tornadoes. And we've really been trying to focus on the water quite a bit in addition to the wind, because 90% of the fatalities in these tropical systems is actually the water.
Yeah, and I mean, we have the potential now. I was looking at a forecast from the Weather Prediction Center showing 7 to 10 inches of rain possible in our region. So let's talk a little bit about this hurricane. This is unusual. I was discussing this with one of our other meteorologists behind the scenes, and we really haven't seen a storm like this where all of the models are coming together this far out. It seems like there's been a lot of consistency in the models with the system. Do you guys see that as well?
Yeah, when you talk about the models, a lot of people look at the model tracks, but we're looking at dozens and dozens of them. But it's interesting, they'll move back and forth a little bit, but the consensus, if you add up all of them, all the lines, and kind of take an average, they've been fairly consistent. You've had individual runs bounce back and forth. They may swap, but in the end, the consistency has been pretty good, associated with really taking the consensus of a whole bunch of different models, and that consistency has been over the Carolinas.
I agree. I mean, that's what we were talking about, how the average of all those models is putting it, unfortunately, right across us. I have one last question, and I don't know if you can even answer this or not, but this is a question I've been getting a lot, and I try and explain to people. Maybe I'd like to hear your explanation. In a time that we can get anything we want on our phone, from something ordered and delivered to tomorrow to I can find out the baseball score of a game going on right now, why do we not see a better timing on when this might or might not arrive? I know part of that has to do with Mother Nature is on its own clock, but talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, when you have so many parameters, dozens and dozens of parameters in the atmosphere to model, I mean, if you think about it, I mean, the forecast has gotten so much better than it was in the past, and that's a lot of it because of computer modeling. So it's been computer processing that can simulate the atmosphere. It's incredibly complicated, and you can have something like a trough up in the northwest United States that's stronger or weaker that could turn a system. I mean, you're trying to model not just the local area, but the entire globe, and that's what makes it particularly pretty critical. But think about this for a second. Here's a good stat. We're as good now at 72 hours as we were at 24 hours 20 years ago. That's staggering. We're getting so much better, and we hope to keep improving in the future as well.
That is amazing. All right, Ken Graham from the National Hurricane Center, you're a very busy man. We appreciate you taking time out of your day to talk with us, and we'll be watching for your updates as we head through the next couple of days. Take care.